Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. Bwah. I'm not in the mood, guys. I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood at all. At all. Let me start by reading some of the comments. Moscow players deserve 2 reds, says Joshua. Blue Line says Napoli players did everything to win. I don't really believe that, but the red card was harsh. Moscow players deserved 5 red cards. Guys, I already posted on Instagram. So for those that follow me, you guys will know. But I already posted about the referee on Instagram. So yeah, that's what I feel about the referee. Check it out over there. Anthony Giampaolo says it was ridiculous. Ponce should have been sent off ages ago, says Joshua. Moscow's a very dirty team for sure. They deserved at least another red, says ID Beats. Sal Di Brita, if Rui's tackle was a red, Ponce's on Manola should have been as well. Studs up for both. Anthony Navarro's in the house. Rui's red was first, but I have 2 instances where the ref should have given a red earlier to Sparta. Is there a technical issue? Is there a technical issue? Oh man. What's the issue here, guys? Someone's saying in the chat there's a technical issue. So I'm not really sure if there is. Right, okay, the chat is saying there isn't. Right, okay. It seems to be solved. Sal Di Brita saying no issue, just the ref. Oh man, this is why I come on here, because even after a game like this, you guys make me laugh, man. It's tough though. I don't know where to start. The ref came to Naples and he thought, you know what, I want to get on the cover page. No one knows me. I'm living a pretty calm life. Some Slovenian ref comes to Naples, wants to be on the cover of every news outlet tonight. And there's refs out there that want to be protagonists, and this one was definitely one of them. And in both ways. Just for every little thing that was useless, he seemed to want to get in the way. And then when big things happened, he was useless. It's just a horrible display by the referee. Angela Torre, ciao Domenico, buonasera, hello. Sono passata per live, ma è mai possibile che ci siamo fatti bastare da una squadra con tantissime assenze che gioca male? So she's saying, is it possible that we were able to basically play so badly and lose? And yeah, just basically how did this all happen? And why did we play so bad? And the answer is that, yeah, we played bad, but only when Mauro Rui got sent off. After that, the game was different, because before that, Napoli was in control. We had so many opportunities with Petagna. And it's just frustrating. But yeah, it's a weird one. Because it's hard to judge the 10 players, because it was really a game of two halves, I would say. Gerald Hualpa saying, a wise man once said that a good team won't blame refs if they lose. That was me. And I'm not blaming the ref for losing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the ref was quite horrible, and that's a factor in that just made the game bad to watch. I don't think we lost because of the ref. I think we lost because we weren't in the right mindset after the red card. We didn't make the right subs. We didn't. We didn't. I don't know. We didn't play the way we're meant to be playing, and we'll see that in the analysis later on. But yeah, it's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. Let's see. Trash ref. Why is Slovakian? Says Martin Kovacev. I don't know if it's Slovenian or Slovakian, the referee, one of those two. But yeah, I had a look on so I have his Wikipedia page open. So his name is Kruzliak, Ivan Kruzliak, Slovakian football referee. He refereed at the 2012 Europa League. And he also refereed at the 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifier. So this is a ref that has not had any important games in the past 7 years, 10 years. So obviously he's going to come to Naples and want to try to get on the front page of every newspaper. Yeah, I don't like it when there's refs out there that like to be protagonists. But we didn't lose because of that. I don't want to say that's an excuse because, you know, we got a penalty decision that went our way. So it's not like this was a biased ref. It was just a bad ref. And yeah, I mean, we should have handled the red card much better. We were still winning 1-0. We are the better team. So yeah, not good enough from Napoli. Not good enough from the ref as well, though. Let's see. ID is saying, I hear you, my G, but you won't say Inter losing to Juve in 17-18 was a robbery. When Pjanic didn't get a second yellow, it was a downright robbery today that Pons wasn't sent off. Yeah, I mean, it was. It really was. Manolas was pretty solid for me. I don't know about you guys. I gave the whole defense a bad rating because I thought we suffered too much. So I didn't think he was solid, to be honest. It's hard to say a defender was solid when you've conceded 3 goals. So yeah, guys, it's tough. It's tough, guys. Rui's gonna Rui, says Sal de Brita, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, I'm gonna go to the formations, the player ratings before I go into the match analysis. I mean, this is what it looks like, guys. It's not a good look. Rui with a 4, a bit harsh because, let's face it, it wasn't a bad tackle. It wasn't a mean tackle, but he did have his studs up. You can't be doing that. And yeah, maybe a 4 is a bit harsh over there, but you've got the experience to know that you shouldn't ever tackle like that. Even if you don't hurt anyone, you should never put your feet up like that. So yeah. Koulibaly and Manolas 5.5. I mean, they did concede 3 goals. They were all over the place at times. Manolas got sent for a hot dog at one point against Victor Moses. Koulibaly out of position a few times. Thought the midfield did okay. They did the best they sort of could. Zielinski, Politano, Petagna, Malcuit, Lozano. I just think they didn't cut it for me. Bryden is saying Zielinski 4.5. That's very low. I don't think Zielinski was that bad. Yes, he had a bad miss, but 4.5 is like, yeah, you're getting like 4.5 is like, yeah, you get a red card or something, or you miss like 5 opportunities like that. Anna Cioffi saying, I agree, after the red card it fell apart. The ref controlled game his way, crazy cards. Anthony saying, to me, Petagna should have given us 3-0 before Ruiz red. Zielinski trying to finesse a shot that you should just bury, don't finesse it. Lately, Spalletti trusting Meret right away. I felt he wasn't fit. Not only that, I felt like, so Meret gets a 5.5 not only for the 3 goals that he conceded, but I mean, there's not really that much that he could have done for those, but I feel like the team lacked confidence today. The defense lacked confidence, and they were all over the place. And I think that's because we were missing Ospina at the back controlling them. I feel like goalkeepers need to be very vocal. They need to show confidence. And maybe Meret just doesn't have that aspect about him where he can just say, go here, go there, position yourself like this. And maybe that's why the defense was bad. So I'm putting that blame on Meret. And then the subs came on, and they, yes, Osimhen should have a 6. Maybe I was. It's a 6+, 6.25 Osimhen. That's why it's a green 6, because he scored a goal, and he was moving about. Probably should be a 6.5. I just messed up there. But the other subs didn't really do that much. Maximus saying, nothing to say after today, just have some money. Oh man, thank you. That's nice of you, man. That's nice of you to be so generous after today's game. That's not everyone. Thank you, man. Thank you for supporting. Anthony saying that's a good point. I didn't think of that, Dom, about what you said about Meret. Yeah, I mean, let's go straight to the analysis, guys. Let's go straight into that. So the first half was not bad. Petagna, I mean, we scored within 11 seconds. I mean, we were quick to score that goal. And we were making some good movements. We had Petagna holding up the ball nicely, laying it off to Insigne, Elmas and Politano supporting, and obviously then Insigne is going to try to do what Insigne does, which is whip the ball in second post. Politano is really good at getting there, and making enough of a disturbance to the goalkeeper for him to fumble the ball, and then it falls right to Elmas, and Elmas is able to slot it home, and that's us 1-0 up within 10 seconds. Let's see, before I go on, let's see what the comments saying. Cleto saying ratings are spot on. Vincenzo saying every shot went in. I think Spartak actually had 2 other chances that maybe they should have scored and they didn't. So I wouldn't be so harsh on them. IDB saying, don't you think Spalletti made good subs with Osimhen and Lozano? Both got players carded, and Osimhen was fire, and Lozano looked pretty good as well. I just didn't see really didn't see the spark, but it's not really their fault. It's Spartak they were fouling so much. It's hard for players like Lozano, Anguissa, Osimhen to do something when they were getting fouled constantly. But Lozano, we'll see why I gave him a lower rating than maybe you guys think that he deserves, because I think that the second goal was his fault. So, yeah, or partially his fault. So, anyways, we're 1-0 up. Then Petagna has a marathon of, you know what, I'm just going to miss a whole lot of chances. That's what I'm going to do today, and he's here, he swings at this, and it goes wide. Yes, it gets deflected, I think, but it was always going to go wide. But I mean, you can just see from his posture that it was never going to go on target. He was swinging at that. Then there's another opportunity here where Mario Rui is forced to drag the ball back to Petagna, and Petagna, he gets intercepted by the defender that comes in and closes. And I think that Petagna here should have been much more quick on his feet to get a shot away. But I think actually his mistake was not making the run to go into the front post. I think Osimhen in that occasion would have made the run to the front post. It would have been a tap in. This is like the perfect spot to be, because you can bring yourself with speed into the 6-yard box line in between the 2 center backs. I don't know what he was waiting for to make that run. I think any decent striker would have made that run. I don't think waiting for the pullback was the right situation or was the right decision in that scenario. Let's see. Anthony Navarro agrees with me, saying, why did Petagna wait for that shot? He should have ran to it and drill it. And then he's saying, yes, Dom, when I show that thing as well. Highbury 10 is saying, we need Osimhen at Arsenal. Napoli is my second team. Yeah, I don't think Osimhen is leaving Napoli for Arsenal. No offense to Arsenal. I feel like if he is to leave, he's going to go somewhere that he can challenge for titles, in my opinion. Which might be Arsenal, but, in a few years. And Napoli, though, was dominating. Up until that red card, Napoli was dominating. And we had really good positions on the field. Spartak were playing 5-4-1. at the back, and Elmas and Zielinski were playing quite well in between the lines. Fabian was sitting a little deeper. And then, the thing was, as soon as Koulibaly or Manolas sends the ball to the fullbacks, so Di Lorenzo or Mauro Rui, then Petagna should make a run, and whoever is that other midfielder, so either Elmas or Zielinski, also needs to make a run, whoever is closest to the ball. So in this case, it was Zielinski. Zielinski makes a run, Petagna makes a run, Mauro Rui sends the ball over the defense, and actually Petagna's quite good at getting there in time. He's got all the time in the world here to take a shot, go have a coffee. He's got loads of time. Instead, he spends a bit too much time on the ball. The defender comes back, and look how far wide he gets pushed. Look at his final position before he finally takes a shot. He gets bullied into the corner flag almost. I mean, how does he go from that point to that point within a second? I think a striker of his stature should be if this was Lukaku would have held off the defender and taken a shot away. There's no way Lukaku would get bullied to that corner. There's no way. And so Petagna needs to use his physique a bit more about when he's in those areas. And we see that time and time again. But before that, Di Lorenzo was having a great game as well. Whenever Politano wasn't getting into that second post, Di Lorenzo was there, and he kept going up until the very end. I mean, the goal that we scored in the 90th minute, that was thanks to Di Lorenzo going forward. So, that's why on the player ratings, he scores a 6.5, because he was defending, going forward. I really liked Di Lorenzo's game today. And then the moment that changed everything, Mauro Rui gets a red card here. At first, the referee gives a yellow card. He gets pulled back by VAR. VAR decides to give him he decides to give him a red card after seeing this. It's not a bad tackle. It's not a leg breaking tackle, but it's one of those tackles that you should never do. You should never have your foot up like that. The ball's on the ground. There's no need to do that. So very, very, very immature from Mauro Rui, or there was a clear, lack of concentration in that moment by Mauro Rui. Let's see some of the comments. Anthony Giampaolo is saying, I feel like Petagna is always trying to kill the ball rather than a cool, calm finish. That's true. That's a good take. IDB is saying Europa League isn't what it takes to make top 4. Arsenal need to make top 4 before they should even think about Osimhen. Roberto Luongo saying, do you think we should have switched to Catenaccio after the card and protected that lead, maybe countering with Osimhen and Lozano? No way. I think actually that's kind of the reason that Napoli maybe lost this game. I mean, I think we came into the second half trying to protect the lead, and then they scored, and then we were like, oh, what do we do now? I think Napoli had the quality to just, be calm, collected, pass the ball around, kill the tempo, because Spartak were, fouling us. They were going 100%. And I think Napoli, what they needed to do was to just bring the tempo down, pass it around, maybe bring on an extra midfielder so that we have a bit more control in the middle of the park. Taking Insigne off, I think, was a really bad idea. I get it that Spalletti wants to preserve Insigne for the Fiorentina game, right? But that's like 2 weeks from now. Like we don't have any more games after this. I believe the Fiorentina game is not till the 3rd of October. Oh no, Fiorentina's on Sunday, and then we have the break. So yes, Spalletti wanted to preserve Insigne for Fiorentina, but there's no guarantee we're getting out of this group stage. I mean, we drew the first game. We were a man down with an hour to go. I think it was way too rushed to take off Insigne. Insigne can pass the ball around quite well. He knows how to slow the tempo. Instead, I don't know. We didn't manage to do that. Let's see some of the other comments. Let's see. Martin is saying that's not a red card. Yeah, I agree. It's more like an orange card. But when you put your foot up like that, you know it's going to go down to VAR. You always give yourself that chance of it being a red card. Imagine if VAR checked the Virgil van Dijk tackle on Mertens a few years ago. Yeah, that was an ankle breaker. That should have been a red for sure. We have to win those games. It's mandatory to go through group stage. Yeah, and it's mandatory to go through as first, because this year, when you're first, you go through to the next a round where you don't have to meet the Champions League teams. Whereas if you're second, you have to meet the third place Champions League teams before going to the next round. So it's super important this year to finish top of the group, and we just made it really hard for ourselves. But Napoli, within the first 5 minutes of that red card, we were still doing what we were doing. And I mean, you can see here, Elmas becomes a right back at this point. But similar to what Mario Rui was doing on the left before, as soon as the fullback gets the ball, immediately Spalletti probably told Napoli players, so as soon as you get the ball and you're in that fullback position, lob it over Spartak Moscow's high line, and then we'll have Petagna run onto the ball. And to be fair, Petagna does a good job. He's quick enough to get past the defender. He gets the ball, but then he just has a really hard time bringing that ball down. So the ball's bobbling all over the place, and he allows the Spartak defender to come back and then once again pushes him wide. There's no explanation, or there's no justification as to why Petagna, a guy that's so big, would be bullied off like that and sent to the corner flag. Anyways, he does a pretty good job at pulling the ball back. It goes to Politano. Politano hits it against the defender. It goes to Zielinski. And Zielinski, on his weaker foot, to be fair, skies it. But yeah, he could have done better here. But at the same time, I think it's not this that lost us the game. I think what lost us the game was how we got into the mentality that we had in the second half. It was we looked scared. Let's see what the comments are saying. Real question: getting knocked out of the Europa League would be a blessing in disguise. No, I want to win the Europa League. Because think about it, guys. This Napoli team is probably never going to win the Champions League. Ever. You've got the likes of PSG, City, Liverpool, Bayern, Chelsea. You might win, you might get past the group, you might win against one or two of those, but it's going to take years of being, in the top end, in the top 8 of the Champions League before you can win the Champions League. I mean, PSG and Man City are living proof of that. So the Europa League is our only opportunity, guys, to do something in Europe, to win a European trophy. So I don't want this Napoli team to snub the Europa League as if it's not important. It is an important competition. It would be good for a team like Napoli to win it. We are definitely not too big of a club for the Europa League. So, yeah, that's my take on it. I don't think we should be hoping that we crash out of leagues like this. Kanuhan Flame is saying we can win the Conference League though. Yeah, that one, I think that one. See, I wouldn't mind crashing out of that one. That one's just embarrassing. There was actually a penalty call for Spartak Moscow at one point. The referee, look at where he's standing. Look at where the referee's standing. He's got a perfect view of the situation. Somehow, this guy manages to say that that's a penalty when it's clear that Politano gets stepped on. I saw it immediately that Politano got stepped on. This guy is standing a meter away and thought that Politano somehow tripped the Spartak Moscow player. Thankfully, VAR called him back, and thankfully, they didn't give a penalty. But, I mean, this ref was one disaster after another for both teams, in my opinion. And then, obviously, a fight broke out because I don't know why the Spartak Moscow players wanted to fight us. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these guys came here to do, but it seemed like they just wanted to fight. I mean, the second half they came there and they were just tackling Osimhen all over the place. They wanted to fight in the first half. I'm just glad no one got injured. That's all I'll say. I'm just glad no one got injured. And then in the second half, we changed a lot. We started playing a 4-4-1, and we put Malquit on the right, Di Lorenzo on the left, Elmas left wing, Politano right wing, Anguissa came on for Zielinski, played alongside Fabian, and then Osimhen came on for Petagna. Obviously, the plan there was shoot the ball up to Osimhen, and hopefully he can do something. And it was about to work, but, the goalkeeper decided to pull a Neuer and came out. And then in other times, that defender that is next to Osimhen in this picture tackled him as if he was playing rugby, and he's lucky he only got a red card towards the end. Let's see, Lazio winning 2-0. That's good for them. Maximus is saying the fact that the ref went to VAR for Rui and not for Spartak is what's wrong. I mean, he ended up, he was such a bad referee, Spartak Moscow players look like prisoners escaped and brought together. Yeah, that's actually what it looked like. Like, they just looked like they were from the KGB or something. I'd wish I could like your comment, says Maximus. Good luck fighting Koulibaly, Manolas, and Petagna, says Vincenzo Bertillo. Yeah, that was so wholesome of Koulibaly, Manolas, and Petagna supporting Di Lorenzo. But then Politano, then there was a corner, right? And we'll analyze the corners a lot because I think Napoli defended really badly from them. But there was a corner, they played it short this time, and Victor Moses just gets past Politano way too easy. But you have to ask how Napoli's defending. Way too many people defending zones and defending zones badly. You have Anguissa and Osimhen marking no one and one behind the other. There's no reason why Anguissa needs to be there and Osimhen needs to be there. They're essentially doing the same thing. There's no need to be there. One of them should have been, one of them should have been where the Spartak Moscow players are. Moses parted the blue sea, says Vincenzo Bettillo. Man, I love Vincenzo, man, because he's so funny. Follow him on Twitter, guys, if you guys don't follow him. Always look forward to his tweets. Tariq BK saying Russian club is like that, fighting all over the place. IDBs is saying, look at that, there's 5 players waiting to shoot. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's all right to mark zonal, but then you have to realize when and where the situation, you have to realize, okay, someone told me to mark zonal, but if someone tells me to jump off a cliff, am I going to jump off a cliff? They should have been thinking about, what are we actually doing in this area? Anyways, Moses pulls it back, and Spartak Moscow score. Lucky goal because it gets deflected on Koulibaly, but I mean, yeah, it's just a weird. I mean, if you look at this picture, it's just weird. We've got 6 players inside the 6-yard box. Not one Moscow player is inside the 6-yard box. There's no reason for us to be so defensive minded, so scared of Spartak Moscow. I feel like we should have been pushing up at that point. As soon as that ball gets pulled back, push up. And we're just slow to react. And here we see 3v3 situations. We were on the back foot. Manolas gets sent for a hot dog. Because Manolas gets sent for a hot dog, then Koulibaly needs to go on Moses, which means that Di Lorenzo has to stay tight on Koulibaly, because you have to follow each other. You can't create a gap in defense, otherwise you're done. So Di Lorenzo is so switched on that he realizes he has to push forward as well, and thankfully he does that. because the ball goes to the front post and Di Lorenzo's there. But this is also for all the haters that say that Di Lorenzo needs to stay wide at all costs, as if he's somehow meant to be like, he's supposed, according to some Napoli fans on Twitter, Di Lorenzo should always stay far post, should always be second post. And now we see how actually sometimes you got to squish into the middle, because that's where 9 times out of 10 the problem is. So, yeah. I hope I've put that to bed, because it's like 3 streams now that I've highlighted instances of Di Lorenzo or Rui staying tight in the middle and it being the right decision. And obviously people on Twitter will go and find that one time that Napoli got caught where Di Lorenzo, the guy at the far post, scored because Di Lorenzo was too tight. And I am tired of that. So I won't say it again, or probably I will in the next live. But yeah, I just want to make that point again. Then Napoli could have had an equalizer. Manolas was offside, unlucky. But Manolas here needs to do better. See, a lot of people, whenever there's an offside goal, right? And for some reason, people assume like, oh, Manolas did so well. He scored a goal, but then it was offside. You know, people saying Manolas had a good game. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, how is an experienced player finding himself offside on a situation like that? Surely you need to be switched on enough to know that you have to step back before you go and try to get a header on it. Otherwise it's useless. So for me, I don't see the Manolas header as like, oh, that's great, Manolas scored a goal, but then it got offside. For me, I see it as, why is he offside in that scenario? So yeah, let's see what the comments say. ID Beats is saying, honestly wanted Rui to break a Spartak player leg. That would have actually been a satisfactory red card if there ever was one. Yeah. Gerard Huopa saying, I think Napoli would drop points versus Fiorentina. Napoli played today while Fiorentina watched at home. Gonna have to knock on wood for that. Vincenzo Bertillo saying, thought of you when Di Lorenzo made that block. Yeah, I want to be known as Napoli Talk, the Di Lorenzo fanboy. Or maybe not fanboy, just passionate. Anthony Navarro saying, Manola's head has been somewhere else, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, the way he got sent for a hot dog against Moses, what was he doing? What was he doing? Stand your ground. He went in for a slide tackle. It's absolutely crazy how he could have jeopardized the whole situation instead of trying to push Moses towards the corner flag or towards the line. He gave him the avenue. Blue Line saying, I don't want to blame the defenders for the loss. It's more that an hour with only 10 players. Yes and no. I mean, I saw the game Milan against Atletico Madrid and they lost. But one thing is, when you lose the way Milan lost, they defended so well. And they only lost in the last 5 minutes through, one of the penalty decisions. And, that's kind of unlucky. And another is if you lose like Napoli did, which we totally lost the distances between people. The only player keeping the right distances with the right person next to him was Di Lorenzo. He was the only player in the whole field that was saying, where's my teammate? Where should I be? Everyone else was in no man's land, and we'll see it in the third goal as well. So I would just want to go back to the whole set piece situation. I mean, Spartak Moscow got to the end of every corner. Every free kick, every corner, they were first at the ball. And you see here Fabian losing his man, saying, who's marking these 4 guys? The Napoli players are just ball watching. And 3 against 1. That's what happens when you play zonal. Like that, to that extent. That's what happens. You get 3 guys, all free, against 1 Napoli player who has to pick up that area. And when the ball is outswinging like that, and those players are all coming in with speed, they're always going to get to it before Manolas. But look at it, 3 guys on 1. Something was seriously wrong with the Napoli defense today, and that happened time and time again, guys. I lost count of how much that happened. Daniel Bowen is saying, do you feel like Spalletti learned anything from this poor performance? By the way, thank you for the $10 donation. I super appreciate you for that. And yeah, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. It really helps. I have a new tripod actually, so you know your money is not going wasted. I have a new tripod. Okay, so look at that. That's a sick tripod. I bought it, and hopefully when I start to make more videos or like non-live videos, and now I'm using a webcam, but when I'm doing other stuff, then I can use the tripod. And see, that's where the money's going, guys. And obviously had business cards made last time, so yeah, thank you for supporting the channel. Anyways, Anthony Navarro is saying, I'm not dumb, but I 100% have a feeling he will learn from this. Yeah, I mean, it's too early to tell. Way too early to tell if Spalletti will learn from it. We'll see in the next games. But yeah, I mean, I thought this defending was shocking. Manolas then had another shocker here. Somehow he missed this. And then this is the Napoli goal, the third goal, the one that really killed Napoli off. So Moses with the ball. Di Lorenzo's doing what he has to do. He's on Moses. But look at Fabian and look at Anguissa. Who is Fabian marking? What area of the field, what useful area of the field is Fabian taking up, being so close to Anguissa? His back turned towards a key area of the field, which is where the Spartak Moscow midfielders are going to make runs towards the box. He's got no awareness that there's two guys behind him. Zero awareness. He's too close on Anguissa. Again, I don't know why. It's like when they scored their first goal that Victor Osimhen and Anguissa were right next to each other. What are you guys doing? Why are you there? So Fabian's too close. And then I just want you guys to take a look at Lozano. He had just come on. Freshest player on the field. All right? And he shows zero motivation to help defend. Look at where he is when the ball is pulled back. He was a meter behind the player that made the run and cross. 3 seconds later, he's, marking nobody because Anguissa is on Moses and Fabian as well. So he's marking nobody. He's the freshest player on the field. Forces Di Lorenzo to have to